Hello everybody and welcome to another new player guide. We are continuing on through the Innsmouth Conspiracy Investigators, and today we're going to be talking about Dexter Drake, the Magician. If this is your first time seeing one of these new player guide videos, they are built with 2 copies of the core set and 1 copy of the cycle in which they came from. So this is 2 copies of the core and the entirety of the card pool for the player cards from the Innsmouth Conspiracy. If you only have 1 copy of the core set, we recommend proxying another, picking up another, or just, it'll make your deck more consistent, and it's the way to win more with more consistency. Luckily, this one actually does have a lot of one-ofs just by the way the Dexter Drakes work, so you can kind of really take advantage of it in a way that other investigators in this series don't. So, Bryn, you're the resident Dexter Drake expert, so I'm going to throw it to you. Why don't you talk about his card and his personals as well?
Alright, so as you can see, we got 5 brain, and our other numbers are not amazing, although 3 punch is pretty serviceable. The 2 in book and foot mean that we never want to be making a test like that ever if we can avoid it. Our ability is, as a lightning bolt, we can discard an asset that we control to play one from our hand, reducing its cost by 1. So, notably, this means that the asset that is played fast and does not provoke attacks of opportunity, because we're not taking the play action, we're using a fast effect. And his star is you can pick up one of your assets, so possibly one that had limited uses, and then you also get to draw a card. His unique assets are showmanship, which, as a reaction effect after an asset enters play under your control, you get +2 to all your tests involving that asset that are made with that asset. So, like if you put a sword cane or an Armageddon into play, then all the actions you take with that item get +2 to their skill value, but only this turn. Mm-hmm. And our unique weakness, which is one of the stranger ones in the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a revelation effect. It just gives us -2 to our brain score. It is in our hand. It's a 0-costed asset that we cannot play. But we can use our lightning bolt effect to put it into play. So we can discard one of our assets to put it into play. While it's in play, it gives us -1 brain. And then because it's an asset we control, the next turn, because we can only use our effect once per turn, we can discard this to put something else into play. It is a bit of a strange one.
Yeah.
It doesn't technically cost you any actions, necessarily. But also you have to deal with it because -2 brain is pretty hefty.
Yeah, because if you say you draw, when I was building this, because I haven't looked at Dexter Drake's cards because I knew Bryn. That's Bryn's Mr. Magician. It's not my Mr. Magician. But looking at it called Scraps, I thought it was really interesting because especially if you look at it, say you draw it during the upkeep phase, assuming that's when you draw your weaknesses the majority of the time in the game, it's going to give you 3 brain for the Mythos phase, and then it just eats up your card text ability. Then you're at 4 brain for the next Mythos phase and your turn, obviously, and then you can get rid of it with another asset, assuming that you have an asset to get rid of. Can you just discard it with your ability even if you don't have an asset to play?
I think you have to have, you have to be able to do the rest.
That checks out.
In order to, because you can't, the game says, yeah, the game says that it needs to result in a visible change, that technically is. Mm-hmm. So that's a good question.
That's one that we can definitely hope that maybe YouTube will answer. They already answered our questions on our Amanda Sharp video. They're great like that. And then as you can see from the list before we get into the specific cards, there is a lot. It's a very asset heavy deck because you're going to want to be looking at using that ability to refuel to when you get rid of your dead spells for a new one, but also it is economy because it's reducing the cost of the new asset you're playing by 1, and it's also action economy. So the more you can get Dexter Drake's ability going, the better. Let's go on to the the level 0 deck, starting with the Innsmouth Conspiracy cards. Travis, I want to throw these ones to you first, so whenever you're good, go for it.
First one's the Sword Cane. This one costs 2 money to play, takes up a hand slot. Playing it does not provoke tax opportunity, but still taking an action. But that's okay, because if you really need it, when you play it, you're allowed to use its action ability without spending an action. The action ability is to exhaust it to fight or evade, and you get to use your brain instead of your fist or your foot. Just a nice handy asset that you can slide and play with Dexter's ability, and then dump it later if you really need something else. Mm-hmm. You can bonk a 1 health enemy or get yourself away from a bigger, scarier one with your 5 brain. It's a good deal.
Yeah. Worth noting, you don't have to pay any of its costs when you are using its reaction ability to activate it after it enters play. So this includes the exhaust part. This is a piece of the cost. So the turn that you put it into play, you can use it twice.
Oh, I learned something new. That's great.
Fancy. Next up, we got Armageddon. This is one of the first curse-oriented spell from the Innsmouth Conspiracy. Costs you 4 to play. Takes up Arcane slot and commits for a punch. It has 3 charges for uses. As an action, you can spend one of your charges in fight using brain instead of fist, and the attack deals +1 damage. But if you reveal a curse token during the attack, you can deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location, or place the charge back on the Armageddon. So as long as you can pass your fight test getting -2 and consistently draw the curse token, you'll never run out of Armageddons. Wow.
It never stops. The world
Or you can deal
keeps
3
ending.
damage an attack, which is also incredible. I'm going to gloss over the Dark Ritual real quick to talk about Eye of Chaos, because it's very similar to the Armageddon. Costs 5, commits for a book, has 3 charges as uses, and is the Investigate allegatory for the cycle, where you use your brain to stay your book, and you get an additional clue when you investigate, and then if you draw the curse token and still pass, you get the... Oh no, you don't have to even pass if you get the curse token, I don't think. If I'm reading that correctly, but you get an additional clue, or once again, you get to put the charge back on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with both of them, as long as a curse token's revealed, it doesn't matter if you pass or fail, you still get the curse proc on that.
Yeah. Actually, that's really nice, because even if the curse token fails you still get to...
Yeah, it's like you never fired the shot.
Maybe you can play some sort of fail forward deck with like Agnes with these and red cards or something like that.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
But yeah. And the last one we have here is a single copy of Dark Ritual. This costs 1 to play, comes into play, and seals up to 5 curse tokens on it. And at the end of the Mythos phase, you have to either spend a resource or discard it. It takes up your arcane slots. This is here mostly to kind of... It's like a little bit of a battery for the curse tokens until you get access to Favor of the Moon, where you or someone playing other curse tokens can dump a bunch of curse tokens into the bag. You can seal them on the Dark Ritual for like other people's turns or for the Mythos phase, so other players they don't get removed from the bag, and also other players don't have to draw them. And then on your turn, you can like dump it or just refuse to pay the cost and go first, and then have access to those curse tokens for your spells.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just sit there and hold the curse tokens indefinitely, I guess, as long as you've got money for it. So.
And it also is like, if you don't have the money and you want to get rid of your occult scraps because they're in play, it's a button you can press that just gets rid of them, right? So
it is just a thing.
Yeah, it's just the thing. You also might be noticing, hey, that's a lot of spell slots. Yeah, but that's fine with Dexter Drake, because you're going to be making assets disappear right before everyone's eyes. We got Obfuscation. This is a 2-cost spell asset that commits her fist. It's fast and uses 3 charges. As a reaction, when an enemy makes an attack of opportunity against you, you can spend 1 charge to cancel that attack. Do you know what's better than getting hit? Not getting hit. And then this is a pretty easy way to avoid that. And also another thing that when it's empty, you can just turn it into something else with the power of magic. We got Shroud of Shadows, which is, I'm going to wager, is going to be the evade thing in that curse cycle. It is a spell, takes up an asset, the spell slot, 3 cost, uses 3 charges in action, spend a charge, evade, uses brain instead of foot. If you succeed and the evaded enemy is non-elite, you may move that enemy to a connecting location. If a curse token is revealed during this evasion attempt, you may move to a connecting location or place 1 charge on Shroud of Shadows. Now, on this channel, we're generally not big fans of the evasion spells, because evasion ultimately just doesn't answer a problem. But this one's actually kind of, you could, if there's an enemy without Hunter, you can just shunt them into a location that you're never going to enter again and say, you're done. Goodbye. See you later. You're effectively killed without being killed.
It's also got Dex in the art.
It also has Dexter Drake in the art, doing a great magician pose.
Yeah.
Like, can you just imagine you turn into an alleyway and you see this, and you're like, I gotta get out of here.
Not to undermine what you're saying, but I actually like the evasion spells quite a bit in my experience playing with them. The issue is that I don't typically, when I play a base purple character, I play Luke, and he doesn't need them.
Yeah, he doesn't need them. He is an evasion
They're very
spell.
nice. They're a very nice thing to have for your clue-oriented Mystic decks.
Next up, we got Faustian Bargain. This just adds 2 curse tokens to the cast bag, which, as you can see from our spells, actually isn't a bad thing. And for that nice benefit, you also get 5 resources. This is going to be a resource-heavy deck, as purple and green characters often are. However, you're also going to be using your resources, so you're going to want to you do get that reduction, but still a reduced Armageddon still costs, I think, 4, right? I can check. It costs 3. Eye of Chaos costs 4, even when it's reduced by his ability. So more resources is good. You're going to want as many resources as you can get in here, as you see by the Faustian Bargain and the Emergency Cache. They're both in this one. Last one here, we got Tempt Fate. Fast, play during any lightning bolt window, add 3 curse and 3 blessed tokens to the chaos bag and draw a card. Simple. Helps you get your curse tokens in there. Add some blessed tokens, because you could kind of do the paradoxical archetype in Mystic. But for right now, the curse tokens are the real benefit there, and the drawing a card and blessed tokens are also nice too. Like, no one's going to be upset about drawing a blessed token. Unless you draw 2 blessed tokens into the auto-fail, which I have done many times.
Yeah, it's not so fun.
Bryn, I'll pass these ones to you.
All right, we got the Tides of Fate. So for the Tides of Fate, it's fast. You can play it during any lightning bolt window.
You take all the curses out of the bag, and then you put blesses in. And at the end of the turn, you take all the blesses out, and you replace them with curses.
This is
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to frame that as a good thing.
Yeah, this is the card that we. I don't think we'll ever play at our table, because I can't imagine Travis is going to yell at me.
I intend to play this
if I say, "Hey,
in a paradoxical purple deck."
Yeah,
it is a bit of a weird one.
It does have a place though. Like, it protects curse tokens, right? Like, if you don't want to draw a curse token for a test, you could just replace them with blessed tokens for that test, right? And like, that's kind of like a way to save those tokens for when it matters. So like, there is a purpose there, right?
It also helps you not screw your teammates by putting too many curse tokens into the bag. If you go first and you don't draw as many of them as you were expecting to, you can just be like, hey, here you go. For your turn, they're all blessed tokens. But also,
you're also allowed to play the start of the round.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you dump a bunch of curse tokens in the bag, you can be like, for the Mythos phase, are all blessed tokens, especially for your Ward of Radiance that's coming up next.
Yes.
And then at the end of the round, they go back to curse tokens for all of your stuff.
So like, there's
So it has
definitely
a lot more uses than it does on first read.
Yeah, and there's definitely like ways to use it, and like, as you can see all this, but I don't think, like, to me it's such a hassle technically to like do that, but there are times, and I think this the purple, obviously it's a Mystic card, so they'll be able to take advantage of it, but like, there is the benefit there, and it's not a bad rate for what you get either with it. So
you don't have to like actually pull them all out either. You can just be like, there's 5 curses in the bag, like just pretend that they're blessed tokens, and if there's still 5, and if there's like 5 curses and 3 blesses, the blesses are still blesses.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it to the actual end of the turn. So
yeah, where you need to change all the blessed tokens into curse tokens.
Yeah.
I
think this card is really neat.
Yeah, it does also have a lot of grief potential.
It does.
One of your teammates is playing blessed, and you're like, nah, man, curse.
I don't think it actually works the other way around, unfortunately.
I think it does.
At
Like
the end of the
so you
round.
can't. It doesn't work when you play it, but at the end of the round, you replace all of them, not just
Oh,
the
so
ones
I
that you
see.
put
Yeah,
there.
you can just turn.
So yeah, you can just be like, "Oh no! Why would you do this to us? You made that happen."
Yeah, so they could already be blessed tokens in there, and then you just turn them into curse tokens.
Yeah, yeah,
You can also play as insurance for Sister Mary, so she doesn't get exploded by her weakness potentially.
Yeah.
yeah. Like there are a lot of things that this card could do, and if you're playing around with curse tokens, it's probably a good card to have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any like outright bad card. I think in the archetypes, they all like not that I can think. The only one I don't like is the dodge. That's the only one I think is like I would never play that card. If I
It's like a fine enabler early game, but like it goes.
yeah, and like if it's not bad if you have to run it, right? But like if you want a dodge effect and you have dodge available, but but they all have their thing. They all help the archetype. We'll be going greater in depth on these when we go to the actual archetype videos. Bryn, what's Ward of Radiance?
We got Ward of Radiance, which is fast. Play when an investigator at your location draws a non-weakness treachery card. Reveal 5 random chaos tokens from the chaos bag. If a blessed or a star token is revealed, cancel that treachery card's revelation effect.
You don't actually need to have very many curse or blessed tokens in the bag for this to be good. Even though it seems unlikely.
Yeah,
It was card of the day on Reddit.
I was gonna say you probably like 2 or 3
Yeah.
is pretty comfortable,
Yeah, like-
and not so much temp fate adds.
Math suggests that you don't actually need that many because you're revealing 5, and there's like, it depends how many curse tokens you've put in the bag, really.
Yeah,
1 bless puts like 0 blesses, assuming 14 non-blessed tokens and the Elder Sign. You have a 33% chance with 0 blesses in the bag. With 1 bless, that goes up to like 54%. 2 blesses puts you at 67%.
nice.
Like 5 blesses is like 87%.
Unless you're
It's pretty good odds to cancel your card.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're the guy who, when there's 10 blesses in the bag, you whiff on the 3.8% chance you don't draw one.
I am. Yes.
Oh
yeah.
man, yeah.
But by the way, I'm very excited. I have a new Jim Sculver deck that's been brewing in my brain.
Oh.
Bryn, what's Promise of Power?
We just know you're gonna get hurt again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Promise of Power, which is so it commits for 4 wild, and as an extra cost to commit it, you have to put a curse into the bag. So it's kind of like you get to take 2 unexpected courages and staple them together, and then pretend you're not cheating. It's kind of just like that. 1 curse is not a big enough downside to offset the fact that 4 wild probably makes you pass whatever it was you were trying to do.
Yeah, 4 is a lot of number.
You can also commit it to somebody else's test. So it's kind of just like, you show up to the game and you're like, one pass test, please. And you hand them your Promise of Power.
Yeah.
Unless you draw the curse token, then -5. Because you're playing Forgotten Age.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Yeah. Travis, here are some of the core set cards. I'll pass these ones to you.
Okay. This first one is Shriveling. This is 3 to play and takes up an arcane slot. It has 4 uses as an action. You fight with your brain, you stagger punch, and you deal +1 damage. If you draw one with simple chits, take a horror. This is the classic from the core set. And you've probably seen this card before. It's only one of in this list because you got the 2 Armageddons. This is just kind of your backup. Next up, we got Holy Rosary. This is one of the assets you're probably actually gonna have sit and play. But it's 2 to play, takes up your accessory slot. It can take 2 brain damage and then just gives you +1 will. Puts you up to a very, not even comfortable, like just great 6. 6 is a really good place to be.
Yeah.
Then we got the Arcane Initiate. This is your ally for this deck, I believe. I don't think there's any others, but 1 to play, takes up the ally slot, can take a heart and 2 brains. When it comes to play, put a Doom on it, which sucks, but whatever, you just kill it when you're done with it.
And it's
And
really
as a
easy
lightning
to kill
bolt- Yeah, it is. Especially if you're Dexter.
it. Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
like, this
maybe.
person was an object.
Yeah, maybe
Get in the
your
box!
lightning bolt has drawn you a spell that you'd rather have than her.
Yeah. Yeah, her lightning bolt is you exhaust her to search the top 3 cards of your deck for a spell and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. This is a fairly important card draw engine for Dexter in this deck because you're going to go through a lot of things. a lot of assets, and this ensures that you will be able to find replacements. And also, you don't do anything without the spells, so being able to draw them is very good. And then we have emergency cash. This is like, as I hesitate to say Faustian bargains, like little brother. This is actually probably the big brother, but like Faustian bargain is easily the family favorite now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, you need money to play your cards. That's it.
Sick. All right. Oh, I drew the Guts lottery this week. All right, we got Ward of Protection. This is a one-cost, fast event. Play when you draw a non-weakness treachery card. Cancel that card's revelation effect, then take one horror. Horror is not really too big of a deal for the majority of the mystics in the game. And like your Arcane Initiate can soak it, your Holy Rosary can soak it, and you can just be like, haha, I had a new one. It was here all the time. And stopping a non-weakness treachery card is pretty sick. And then we got Guts. Guts is good because you're seeing I have 5 brain. Why do I need Guts? Well, more protection from the Mythos phase is always a good thing. It attacks you primarily through brain and foot. Most commonly through brain, though, because that's kind of like where that stat lives. In addition, it also is going to help you bump up your spells where you're going to be using your brain. Brain is still relevant for you, so having more brain for big enemies isn't a bad thing. And Guts then replaces itself after you're successful, and you're going to be successful because you're going to have like 8 brain. Yeah. Sick. Bryn, I'll pass the first upgrades to you.
All right, we got Favor of the Moon, which lets us, it's a one-costed asset, which is really where we want these things to be. And we can seal some curse tokens on it. Moon is curse token up to 3. Yep. Up to 3. It is normally fast to play as well. If there are no tokens on it, discard it, which is a little sad. But as a reaction effect, when you would reveal a Chaos token from the Chaos bag, you can exhaust Favor of the Moon to resolve a token sealed there as if it were just revealed from the bag, then gain a resource. So this one kind of does double duty, where it is like both an economy option and you can use it with your spells. You know, you can use it to gain resources and put extra charges or deal extra damage with your Armageddon or discover extra clues with your Eye of Chaos. And also, you can just use it to hold the curse tokens so that nobody else draws them while you're waiting to use them. It's pretty alright. Then we got Favor of the Sun, which is it's the mirrored version where you seal blessed tokens. If there are none on it, discard it. It's 2-costed instead of 1-costed because blessed tokens are not better, but easier to use. Mm-hmm. As a reaction, when we reveal a Chaos token from the Chaos bag, we exhaust Favor of the Sun to resolve a token sealed here instead, as if it were just revealed from the bag. So we can just use it to, hold +2s for us until we decide that we'd like them for the test. Mm-hmm. Also, it does also make you more likely to draw the curse tokens in the bag if you pull some of the blessed tokens. Well, I guess it doesn't really change the math on that too much.
No.
Yeah, because they just burn into another one. But you get to be the one who draws them instead of other people. Oh man. Yeah, okay, we got Justify the Means, which is a skill that commits for no symbols and can be committed to any type of skill test. As an additional cost to commit it, we get /have to, however you choose to view that, to put Chaos or Curse tokens into the Chaos bag equal to the test's difficulty. The test is automatically successful. It seems real good.
Yeah, it does.
I have not played with this card, but I will say automatically passing skill tests, it's got to be a real heavy price for me to not think that might be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. This last one.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
go
ahead.
No,
ahead.
I like it too because it feeds your if you want curse tokens in the bag, you can feed curse tokens in the bag very easily into this while also passing a test that's relevant to you. And I mean, like, ultimately even using it on, like, say your one brain power rogue needs to pass a rotting remains or else they die, just like give it to them, right? Like, you can just here add 3 curse tokens, but now the game continues, right? So like, you can use it on small tests too. You don't need to use it just on, like, the big bangers or like the must pass tests. Like, just throw this in there, even if the number's low. But you know, like, you have to pass it, right?
You gotta do it.
God, the art on this one always creeps me out.
Yeah. This next one's a little strange. It's Reastrad. It is a 0-cost spell. It's also a Spirit and Cursed, which are neat types. Commits for 2 punch, and it's a fight action. When you initiate this attack, you add up to 3 curse tokens to the Chaos bag. For each curse token added to the Chaos bag this way, you get +1 punch and deal +1 damage for this attack. So this one kind of brings up our serviceable 3 punch score. Like, we can use this to juice it up to 6 and deal 4 damage for the attack. It's pretty solid for 1 action.
Sick.
It does put a lot of curse tokens into the bag, which can be a little scary.
Not for
But-
only for the other people though. With you,
Yeah.
you're just like, I'm cursed. I love it. Travis, I'll let you take these next ones.
Yeah. Okay. First one we got here is the Abyss Tome. This one takes up a hand slot, 2 money to play it, 2 experience. It's an action you can exhaust it, fight using your book or your brain instead of your punch. And then when you do it, you may put a Doom on the Abyssal Tome. And you get +1 skill value and +1 damage for the attack for each Doom on the Abyssal Tome. This is really good for killing stuff. And then you can just throw it away when it's got too much Doom on it, because you're Dexter. You don't need it anymore. Next up, we got the Armageddon. Level 4. Still 4 experience per your deck. Still takes up the Arcane slot. Still takes forward play. Still has 3 charges. And as an action, you spend your charge fight, uses brain instead of punch. You get +2 brain, deal +1 damage to this attack. And once again, if curse token is revealed during this attack, you can deal damage in your location and place a charge on the Armageddon. So you're basically paying for experience to get +2 brain to the attack, which is kind of like... So it means you're going to pass, basically, but also it has a slightly other interaction on these cards where it just nullifies the curse token that you theoretically draw.
With this one as well, it's for each curse token. So if you draw 2 as well, you get to place an extra charge on there.
Go.
Yeah, so that's actually that's some good value.
To the guy.
Yeah, because like if you
really
think about it, you have your Holy Rosary puts you up to 6. This puts you up to 8. Your 2. If you draw 2 curse tokens on this, like you're at 4. That's gonna hit the majority of the things you want to shoot in this game. So that's nice.
Next up, we got the Curse of Eons. This is your gym deck, isn't it?
It's a piece of the gym deck, yes.
This costs 2 to play, 3 experience put in your deck, and as a reaction, when a second curse token is revealed during a single skill test at your location, you can exhaust Curse of Eons to cancel that token and treat it as if it were a skull token instead, and then you may choose to remove both of those tokens from the Chaos bag after the test ends. So this is really good, especially if you have someone else you're playing with who's also putting in curse tokens, and you'd like to ever pass a test. Yeah, and then like it does give the option of keeping them in the bag, which is nice for your curse shenanigans, or if you just want to again pass tests, you can throw them out.
Yep.
Last one for this page is a green card, the Eye of the Djinn. 2 experience, but it is exceptional. So only 1 copy in your deck, and it actually costs 4 experience. Commits for 2 books. Takes up a hand slot, and as a reaction, when you initiate a skill test during your turn, you can exhaust the Eye of the Djinn, and then your base skill value for the test becomes 5. And if you reveal a blessed token, you get to ready Eye of the Djinn, so you can use it for another test. And if you reveal a curse token, you can take an additional action this turn. this card doesn't have like any specific use. You just kind of play it and let it roll, and it gives you like, +3 to your book or your foot for investigation or evasion, and +2 in case you need to punch something, and then sometimes you get to do something else. Good.
Yeah. Every time I've ever played Dexter Drake, I've ended up trying to basic wizard punch people. And getting to do it at 5 seems a lot better than having to do it at 3.
Yeah.
What's special about basic wizard punch, man?
It's
What's different from a regular
made,
punch?
It's a punch made by a wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's actually probably worse than a regular punch.
Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
Yeah, like, if Mark Harrigan punched you, you definitely know it.
Yeah, if I had to choose to be punched by, like, Nathaniel Cho or Mark Harrigan or Dexter Drake, I'd choose Dexter Drake any day of the week.
Pick Mark.
All right, we got, oh my god, Flute of the Outer Gods? What does this even do? All right, this is it costs X. We're already off to a great
You
start.
get all the weird ones.
I do get the weird ones. This is a 4 experience, takes up a hand slot. It's an item and instrument. Let's go, Jim Culver. Relic and Cursed. Exceptional. Seal up to X curse tokens. Exhaust Flute of the Outer Gods and release 1 curse token and seal it on it. Choose a non-elite enemy and release 1 token sealed on. Okay, and choose a non-elite enemy or location. Either move the chosen enemy to a connecting location or deal its damage to any enemy at its location. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Okay, that's cute.
Experience, baby.
Yeah, it costs 8 experience, and you only get 1 of them. If you want to have a very expensive way to deal with enemies, this is a way to do it. I don't have much more to say about this card.
I mean, it's really good at cleansing the chaos bag of curse tokens.
Yep.
And it feels like a similar function as Dark Ritual, where you can like hold on to them until you need them, even though they kind of trickle out of this one.
Yeah, and I mean, like, honestly, a free evade is still really good, right? Like, you can seal 4 curse tokens on this, and then you get to just get 4 free evades. Like, that's a good deal, right?
Yeah, it also has like a small amount of sort of utility with the Armageddon in particular, where you're not always 100% sure how much damage you're gonna get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you can like have the other guy bonk one.
Yeah. I've noted that damage value is different than horror value, so you just do the red heart damage for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Paradoxical Covenant. This is a permanent 2 experience, only 1 covenant per deck. As a reaction, after Investigator location performs the Reveal Chaos token step of a skill test, if both a Bless token and a Curse token revealed during that test exhaust Paradoxical Covenant, this test automatically succeeds. Remove each of the Blessed and Cursed tokens revealed from the Chaos bag after this test ends. That's neat. Obviously, it's possible with this deck to tempt fate, and then if you have other people adding Blessed tokens, it's not easy to trigger this. It's possible to trigger this, but when it does, I mean, automatically succeeding seems nice.
Rite of Equilibrium is really good for this too.
Yeah, we'll be getting there once I get to that card. I've never read this card before in my life, so there's a first time for everything. Upgraded Shroud of Shadows also costs 4, like the upgraded Armageddon. 3 cost, 3 charges, spend a charge, evade, you get +2 brain for this test. If you succeed and the evaded enemy is not elite, you may move that enemy to a connecting location. For each curse token revealed during this evasion attempt, you may move to a connecting location or place 1 charge on Shroud of Shadows. So, this could be a bunch of free move, with depending on the number of curse tokens you reveal, or just more charges for your Shroud of Shadows. I do think for this one, the free move is actually pretty sweet. Especially because when you move an enemy to a connecting location, obviously, like, don't move to that location. But, like, you can because the enemy's evaded, but you generally want to move the enemy to a location that no one goes to, and then you can just, like, run away from that enemy, making that, like, it's nice against hunter enemies as well. It gives, like, everyone a bit more time for it.
Yeah, it puts a turn between you and them.
Yeah. Then we got the Rite of Equilibrium. This is a 5 experience, 0 cost, spell blessed cursed event that commits for a wild. Either choose 1, add X Curse tokens to the Chaos Bag to add X Bless tokens to the Chaos Bag. Yeah, that works very well with Paradoxical Covenant, can confirm. Or remove X Curse and X Bless tokens from the Chaos Bag to heal X total horror from among cards at your location. Honestly, that seems like a fantastic card for the Paradox archetype. Like, it costs 5 experience, so it obviously should do something well. And you don't need to pay X to move the tokens, or to add or remove the tokens. You just either add a bunch or remove them to heal if they're already in the Chaos Bag. Of note, you have to obviously add equal Blessed and Cursed for both of them, which is kind of like a good thing for your Paradoxical Covenant build. And then the healing is also sweet if you ever need a panic button to press. Card seems cool.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Bryn, this is your page.
We got the Priest of Two Faiths. He costs 1 XP and 1 to play, which is right in there. Want to be with our ability. As a reaction effect, when he's put into play, you add 3 Bless tokens to the Chaos Bag, and then forced at the end of the round, you must either discard him or add a Curse token to the Chaos Bag. Is that really even a cost? Not here. He's just a solid way to put more tokens that your cards care about into the bag, while also providing a little bit of soak and an accessory or an item that I suppose like a human is not an accessory, but like a thing you can discard to make one of your other assets appear, as if by magic. And we got Tristan Botley, who's a 5-costed ally. 2 XP to put in your deck. As a reaction effect, after 3 Cursed and or Blessed tokens are revealed during a single skill test at your location. Does it have to be at your location?
No, just revealed.
No, just at all? Okay, it's equally unlikely. You get to put him into play. Just for free. He soaks 3 and 2, which is pretty solid. As a reaction effect, after your turn begins, you choose 2 of your skills. You get +1 to each of the chosen skills until the beginning of your next turn. He's just pretty good. Like if you're dumping a whole lot of cursed and blessed tokens into the bag, there's a non-zero chance that he will be free. But you probably don't want to put him in your deck unless you're okay with the idea that you might have to pay 5 for him.
Yeah, or realistically also 4 with Dexter.
Yeah, you could turn something else into him. He does also have some extra niche here where sometimes we get to put him into play for free, and then we put the man in the box and we cut the box in half, and then inside the box it's the Eye of Chaos. How did that happen?
What a trick.
Yeah. We've got the Goose. It's a 2-costed asset. Costs 2 XP, but it's exceptional, so it's actually 4. And you're only allowed 1 in your deck. You get +1 to all of your numbers. And forced, when you put it into play, you have to make a promise framed as, I will not play, draw, or commit cards during any of my turns. If you break the promise, you have to discard the Goose and put 10 curse tokens into the bag.
You mean you get to put 10 curse tokens in the bag?
Yeah, dependent on how you view that. This card's got a lot of interesting potential in a Dexter deck, where with this particular list, the curse tokens aren't such a bad thing. We can definitely use them for stuff, but also if you've made a promise that you decide that you don't want to keep anymore, you can just turn the Goose into a different asset. It's fine.
Of note with this one, as always with Goose, I like to figure out which one I choose. I think this one, it's a pretty easy just choose, don't commit. That's like the easiest deal to commit.
Skills in your deck.
4 skills, and both of them work. Guts, they both are going to mostly work in the Mythos phase or for other people. So the Goose is making a bad deal, I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't pick I will not play cards.
Yes, that's the bad choice.
What this guy does.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Lucky Penny, which is another exceptional level 2 asset. This one is forced when you reveal a blessed or a cursed token, you flip a coin. If it's heads, the token is blessed. If it's tails, the token is cursed. I love this card right now. But yeah, if you give me 6 months, I'll probably hate this card. It's just it's a neat way to allow you to load the deck with curse tokens, but still you can still pass tests, right? Like you reveal 2, odds are good that you've just got a +0.
Mm-hmm.
That's what math says should probably happen.
Yeah, and math wouldn't lie, right?
Math is the biggest liar right now.
Yeah. Oh, Travis, you want to finish this one up?
Yeah. This is Eye of Chaos, and it's level 4. So 4 experience put into your deck. And you get +2, same as the other one, +2 brain for the test. And does the same for each curse token you reveal. You get to discover a clue at connecting location and place a charge on Eye of Chaos. It's just Eye of Chaos, but better.
Is the level 0 one also connecting location?
Yeah.
It is. Look at that. You know, they're actually pretty sick. I like those ones a lot. Okay, well, I'm just writing down the time code for my easy use in the future. But that's Dexter Drake, the new player guide. I've never seen like an investigator that was such a Bryn investigator. Like I think they nailed the Dexter Drake design for Bryn specifically. Because if there's one thing I know about Bryn is he loves playing assets, and then he can turn his assets into other assets. Just a lot of stuff can happen with Dexter Drake in play. Do you guys have any other final Dexter Drake thoughts, or should I close this video out?
Not that involve the base, the core set, and the set he's from.
Sick. All right, well, we'll see you guys in a few days where we're going to be doing the final new player guide for the Innsmouth Conspiracy cycle, where we're going to be talking about my boy, Mr. Silas Marsh. So we'll see you then. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.